Hey guys, Habitual Truther back with the new video. Alright, sorry I haven't made a video in a while. It's been like a week or something, but I've been under heavy spiritual attack all week. All kinds of stuff happening to me. From not physically feeling good to severe depression, because I still haven't heard from my son. It's been like 6 months and I'm worried about him. And I don't understand why he won't return my calls or anything, but that's not why I'm making this video. This video, there's several things that I've come across over the past week. Like, for instance, I'm sure you're all aware now of all the school closings across the nation. I'm talking elementary, middle school, and high schools have been closed across the nation due to the coronavirus. But here's what you don't know, which only very few people do know. And it's been confirmed from Daniel, from his channel, Logic Before Authority. There was a female that emailed him who happens to work for the school's Board of Education. And she said she's only one of 3 people in her district that are privy to the information, and she and the other 2 who were given this information all had to sign a non-disclosure agreement, meaning they're promising through their signature that they won't talk about what information was given to them. And that information that was given to them is during the 2-week shutdown, and this is her district, but knowing how the elites work, you can just pretty much assume all school districts are doing this since they've closed schools across the nation. They are going behind the parents' back, and they are installing 5G in all these schools during this 2-week shutdown of the coronavirus. That is fact. She works for the school's Board of Education, and she had to sign a non-disclosure agreement, which tells me that, yeah, they don't want that word to get out. But she emailed Logic Before Authority anyways and gave him the information, but she wanted to remain anonymous, which is obvious because some people lose their lives over loose lips, sink ships type of thing. So anyways, we got that going on. So while you think your child's school is being disinfected of the coronavirus, is what they're claiming it under the guise of, these white vans that are going into all these different schools across the nation are actually really there to install the 5G network, which is designed first and foremost to destroy the production of testosterone and sperm count, because they want to depopulate. And what better way to depopulate than to make everyone sterile so that they can't reproduce when they get older. So yeah, all our children are prone to becoming sterile due to the 5G network. But it gets worse than that, because of the fact that if you know what 5G does, depending on which frequency they hit you with, they can either slow cook you from the inside out, or they can just straight up kill you in just 5 minutes of straight 60 gigahertz waves that are designed to rob your red blood cells from being able to bind with the oxygen molecules in your body. So there's that's going on. So you got to remember, when the elites do something, it's always for more than just one reason, just like 9/11. There's several. 9/11 was multifaceted. It benefited so many different people on so many different levels. And you got to think, this coronavirus scare that they're pushing all this fear porn on the news about, it's for more than one purpose as well. And one of the biggest purposes I believe that it's for is to bring down the world's economy so they can introduce this bad boy. Yeah, you see it. The cover of the 1988 edition of The Economist magazine, which I believe was the very first Economist magazine ever issued back in 1988, has a picture of a phoenix rising out of the ashes, so to speak, with, well, you can't see the full picture, but there's money burning underneath him. And there is a coin hanging around his neck. And if you look carefully at the coin, it closely resembles what Bitcoin looks like. And of course, Bitcoin, just like all cryptocurrency, is non-tangible money, so to speak. You can't hold it in your hand, but you can mine for it on your computer. And Bitcoin, one Bitcoin's worth a ton of money. Almost like gold per ounce. But this is what I believe is going to be introduced once they bring down the world's economy under the guise of the coronavirus. Oh, well, the coronavirus is the reason why the stock markets crash. So the coronavirus is the reason why we had to come up with a solution. And guess what, friends? What better solution to go with than digital currency? Because now you no longer have the fear of catching the coronavirus by handling money that's been handled by a million other people. You can now safely go to the grocery store, go to your retail store, purchase items with just a wave of your hand or a scan of your forehead. Whether you put the RFID chip in your hand or in your forehead doesn't really matter. You just scan it, there's nothing to touch, thus no coronavirus to have to worry about. You always wonder, how would they ever get people to take the mark of the beast? Well, here's one good reason. Come up with a fake bioweapon virus like the coronavirus, which is actually a common cold. Get everyone so afraid that they're afraid to touch their own currency that's in their wallet or their purse, so that they gladly welcome the RFID chip mark of the beast, because no more threat of catching the coronavirus, guys. You just simple incision right in the hand or forehead. The RFID chip is no bigger than the size of a grain of rice, with a built-in lithium-ion battery, and the 5G network will power it and keep it charged. So there's no having to plug yourself in to recharge like you do your phone, because the RFID chip comes with a lithium-ion battery which will recharge off of the 5G network. The shortwave microwave energy will keep it charged. Almost like, oh, I don't know, solar power, for instance. All you got to do is walk by a 5G mini tower, and guess what? Your lithium-ion battery and your RFID chip is recharging. So there's no need to ever have to plug in. No need to ever have to handle paper currency anymore, because all it takes now is a wave of a hand, and voila, you just purchased all your products without having to touch a thing, okay? Now, this is just one of many reasons why they came out with the coronavirus. Another reason is to push, like I said, fear. Get the people afraid, because you control the people through two ways. The two best ways to control a population is through fear and through the control of food. And the control of food's coming next, friends. You're going to see the prices of pork and beef and chicken just go through the roof this year, due to the crop losses and due to the fact that we lost 1 million cows last year to the floods. They all died and drowned in the Midwest because of all the flooding that they created using directed energy weapons and magnetic energy weapons to steer storms and have it rain for days on end, causing it to flood the Midwest of the country. So by coming out with the coronavirus, It allows them to bring down the economy without having to take the blame for it, because they just blame it on the coronavirus. And it allows them to introduce digital currency known as cryptocurrency, which they probably will go with Libra, which is a cryptocurrency that was supposedly designed by Mark Zuckerberg, is what I call him, Zuckerberg. But regardless, they're going digital. Paper currency is going to be a thing of the past. And you better believe that 95% of the world's population is going to jump to get the RFID chip, which will have their bank account information, their medical records, the whole 9 yards, because of fear of having to touch physical paper money. They don't want to catch a coronavirus. And ooh, what a logical, smart idea to come out with digital currency, so no one has to touch money that's been handled by 10 million other people, when there's a chance that at least one of those 10 million people has the flu or the coronavirus. Ooh, look out. Yeah, so that's what's going on. Also, I want to make a mention. I'm sorry, Priscilla. I know you've been trying to get a hold of me for the past couple days, but I have been under such a demonic spiritual attack. I pretty much isolated myself. I didn't take any calls. I didn't text anyone back. I wasn't making videos. All I could think about was my son, and then I'm getting attacked left and right. Just like today, for instance. I go over to pick up my prescription today, and then they tell me, oh, well, your insurance must have ran out because they're saying that it's expired or something, and they won't cover my medicine. And I need my medicine, or else I'll go through extreme severe withdrawal. So they said, do you have your card with you? I said, no, it's at home. They said, bring it back, and we'll call the number on the back. So I went home, grabbed my insurance card, and I prayed the whole way back that the Father who sits upon the throne will make a miracle happen and allow that insurance to cover the cost of my medication that I need. And sure enough, like always, he came through. After he contacted the number on the back of my insurance card, he said, it's all good. I'll have your prescription filled in just 3 minutes. Praise the Father. So that's just an example of many examples of how I've been spiritually attacked this week. I've also been attacked heavily and I believe I'm being targeted because, like, I opened up my patio door to go out to my patio one night to get some fresh air, and I couldn't even make it to the patio. As soon as I opened the door, I collapsed to the ground. It felt like all the blood just rushed right out of my body, right out of my legs. My legs became like wet noodles, and I just, boom, hit the floor like a sack of potatoes. And then, of course, I experienced what I've been experiencing for the past few months, where after I hit the ground, I'm blind. All I see is white for like 5 minutes, and I can't hear anything for like 10 minutes, and then slowly my vision comes back, and then after that, slowly my hearing comes back. And like my whole body's numb. Like, it's hard to describe. It's like vertigo, and then I hit the ground, and then like my eyesight and my hearing go, and then it just gradually comes back after 5 or 10 minutes. And that just started happening to me not long after I started my YouTube channel. I started my YouTube channel in the beginning of November of 2019, and it was in December sometime when I first experienced this collapse type thing. And now it's like almost the end of March, and I'm finally putting it together. I believe I'm being hit with some kind of a microwave energy weapon that's causing me to collapse and have vertigo and have my eyesight and hearing go for like 5-10 minutes. And it'll just come out of nowhere. Like, I'll be fine, and I'll be feeling perfectly fine. I get up to go do something, all of a sudden, bam, I drop like a sack of potatoes. I see nothing but white, vision-wise. Like, all I see is white. It doesn't go black. I see light, it's like white, but I see no images whatsoever. It's just my vision is white. That's all I know how to explain it. and my hearing goes completely, like I can't hear nothing. And then 5 minutes later, slowly my eyesight starts to come back, and it's like when you focusing in on an image with a camera, how it's blurry and then it like focuses. That's kind of like how when my eyesight comes back. It's all I see is white, and all of a sudden I start to see figures, and it's blurry, and then it comes into focus, and then finally I can see clear again. And then with the hearing, it comes back, you know, slowly starts coming back where I can hear a little bit better and a little bit better, and then finally I'm back to 100% hearing. And that's never happened in my life until, like I said, this past December it started happening to me, ever since I made this YouTube channel. So I could be getting attacked, but the Father's protecting me because they haven't killed me yet, at least. But speaking of that, I had a nice long conversation with a subscriber of mine earlier today. She called my phone number because, of course, you know I put my phone number on my videos. And she had left a message like on the 16th of March, so I called her back today because I was in my isolation stage. So anyways, I call her back today, and I'm not going to give her name or anything, but she has quite a bit of information in which she wants to share, but she's afraid for her life to share the information, so she'd rather pass it on to someone else, which I completely understand. And I told her, I said, hey, give me the information, I'll do a video on it. I'm not afraid because the Father's protecting me. So if it's my time to go, then it's my time to go. Then that means my job is done. But until then, I'm going to keep on speaking. So anyway, she has it all on a thumb drive, on a, you know, like a flash drive. And she asked me if I had a computer. I said, no, all I have is my cell phone. She said, well, I'm going to send you a virtual Walmart gift card so you could buy yourself a laptop. And then I said, that's a good idea. I said, you don't have to do that, but that would be cool. And then all she would have to do is just mail me the thumb drive, and then I could just plug it in the computer, analyze what's on the thumb drive, and then I can create a video right there on the laptop. So I'll have a computer. Plus, I should be able to live stream from a computer, which would be nice. I wish I could live stream from my phone right now, but I need 1,000 subscribers to do that. But anyways, there's some pretty hefty information on this thumb drive apparently, in which I'm not even going to mention the name of the other lady, but she was killed for giving up the information. So yeah, this is like life-threatening information, and if a whistleblower gets a hold of it and blows the whistle, pretty much they're done. But you know, I put it in the Father's hands. If the Father wants me to have that information and to put it out on my channel, then I will. I'm not going to disobey the Father, and I'm not afraid to die, because I know where my soul's going to go when I die. I'm going to the kingdom. And if you know you're going to the kingdom and you're in the Father's hands, you have nothing to fear. Nothing at all. Which I fear nothing anyways. Let him take me out. Do me a favor and give me a one-way speedy ticket to the kingdom. That'd be fine by me. But anyways, I apologize that it's been so long since I've done a video. I'm telling you, especially when I have this much knowledge of the truth, and I'm not trying to brag, I'm not bragging. I give all glory to the Father who sits upon the throne, for I am nothing without him. The information that I received was from him. So again, I'm not patting myself on the back. I consider myself blessed that he chose me to give me all this knowledge. And it's all the glory, all the thanks, all the praise goes to the Father who sits upon the throne. But like I said, I'm not afraid to put out information that could end my life. So I'll do whatever needs to be done. But yeah, I've been getting attacked every which way this whole week. It's been a rough week for me, guys. So please pray for me. Pray for me to have peace of mind about my son. And that's like the biggest thing I worry about. Because I fear for his soul, where his soul's going to end up. But she also mentioned a YouTuber that put out information making a pretty bold statement, stating that the third temple has already been built, and it's underneath. It's underground, right next to the Western Wall in Jerusalem. And I was wondering what that place was that Donald Trump went to, and they had Netanyahu in there and a bunch of other Jewish executives or whatever. And there's like 70 seats in there, and there's 24 seats for the elders. It's a perfect mirror of what the third temple is supposed to be. So, yeah, I think that that guy might be onto something. That the third temple might already be built. But the son of perdition hasn't revealed himself yet. And I believe he reveals himself after there's a war, which I believe is World War III, which I believe is going to be the fall of America, which we are Mystery Babylon. And again, according to people's end time dreams, I believe it correlates with happening around Christmas time, because all their dreams point to just before Christmas. And when you have more, I'm talking like 4 different Christians end time dreams. They claim, like one lady claimed that she saw the constellations in the sky were all constellations of like Christmas decorations, like stockings and candy canes and tree ornaments and stuff. And then another lady that had an end-time dream about America being invaded claimed that she was watching them put the star on top of the town square tree where she lived right when the first missile dropped. And you decorate the Christmas tree after Thanksgiving and, of course, before Christmas. And then, of course, Agenda 21, meaning they want to have everything set in place by the year 2021. So if America was to be invaded, it would be a short, quick war. And happening just before Christmas, that leaves you a week to take us out of the picture. And then, boom, you have New Year's. 2021. Welcome to the Mark of the Beast. Oh, and that's another thing I want to bring up, guys. Do you remember it was like towards the end of December of this past year when Russia announced that they were going to get off of the World Wide Web, claiming that they had invented their own internet? Yeah, they've been using it since January, guys. Russia's not on the World Wide Web. That's why you don't see any Russians anymore. There aren't Russians in the YouTube channels anymore. You're not seeing them because they're using their own internet now. Now that begs the question, why would Russia decide to invent their own internet and get off of the World Wide Web? Well, let's see. If they plan on bringing down the World Wide Web, then I could see why Russia would want to create their own internet so that they don't lose connection with each other in Russia. And yes, they are going to bring down our internet. There was a guy that had an end-time dream about explaining how the internet goes down for 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks, the internet comes back up, but everything's completely different when it comes back up. And I think I have a feeling why and what it is. What it is they take down the internet, they wipe off everything that has to do with truth. And then once they've deleted all of the truth, the evidence of truth on the internet, then they bring it back up again, revamped, filtered with nothing but lies. So there's not going to be any more YouTube truther videos. There's not going to be any more truth on any platform coming out. No D-Live, no truth on anything. So when the internet comes back up, you're not going to find a single piece of evidence of any truth ever existing. They're going to wipe history. They're rewriting history. And that's how they do it. They rewrite history all the time. They even rewrote our history. For some of you out there who think that Donald Trump is the 45th president of the United States, think again. We've had 13 presidents before Washington, and that makes Donald Trump the 58th president of the United States. And why don't we know that? Because they rewrote history and they taught us a false history. His story, history, get it? His story, it's his story. Yeah, Satan's story. Exactly. So, that's why everything that we learn in school, I throw it right out the window. The only thing you can bank on, that is fact, that you learned in school, is basic arithmetic and basic laws of nature, like when it comes to centrifugal force, inertia, things of that nature. But in gravity, it's fake. All this stuff, all this other garbage is that they just add to it, and you know, they give you a little bit of truth when the rest is littered with lies. That's how they do it. And don't forget, it's the Hegelian dialectic to create a problem, watch the reaction of the people, and then present them with a solution. Problem, reaction, solution. And that's the coronavirus is just another example of many. 9/11 was a problem, reaction, solution event that happened to the American people specifically. We were so-called attacked by terrorists with box cutters that flew planes into the Twin Towers, and then we wake up the next day with all these different new laws in place. The Patriot Act, and then they created the Department of Homeland Security, claiming that we need to be more fearful of terrorists because there are terrorists everywhere. So in order to better combat the terrorists, we need to create an alphabet soup group, as if they don't have enough already, known as DHS, Department of Homeland Security. And of course, they implement more laws like the Patriot Act, taking away more of our rights. Now all of a sudden you could be put on a watch list if you mention key words. Or if you're asking questions and going against the grain, going against the narrative, you could be labeled as a domestic terrorist. I'm sure I'm labeled as a domestic terrorist because 9/11 didn't happen the way they claimed it did. Okay? None of these things happened the way they claimed it did. None of the mass shootings happened the way they claimed they did. Alright? And don't forget, there's crisis actors, and yes, there are people that are so desperate that they will participate in a fake, staged, false flag mass shooting event and pretend to be a victim to get paid for it. But you never see any real tears when they do the interviews. Isn't that funny? Why don't you ever see tears? Don't you think that if someone lost a loved one in a mass shooting, they would be bawling their eyes out? They'd be bawling so bad they wouldn't even be able to maintain their composure on camera. But you never see that. These people look like they recited specific lines that they were told to repeat, and they can't even put out fake tears. I mean, surely they could hire better actors that can actually cry on a dime. But no, they hire the worst actors in the world because they know the world's so stupid that they're going to fall for it anyway. So why spend the extra money, you know, hiring people who actually know how to act? They just hire anybody off the street. And that's the truth. And if you can't handle the truth, get the hell off my channel. That's what I say. Because if you don't like the truth, you don't need to be watching my channel. Habitual Truther is all about the truth. And the truth hurts for some people. Just like when I was waiting in line for my medicine today, I was talking to another lady, and it was just a conversation between me and her. And I was mentioning how they're blowing the coronavirus out of proportion, and how it's fear-mongering that the news is plastering it all over to get people afraid of the coronavirus. I was telling her that it's just a common cold, and she's like, oh, I know it. She even mentioned to me, before I can even say it, that, it's on the back of the Lysol can, coronavirus. Well, there was a lady that was like 2 people behind us that spoke up and said, sir, I'd appreciate it if you shut your mouth and quit talking about it. You're scaring people in here. I said, excuse me? I said, And she said that I was creating fear. I said, I'm actually exposing the ones that are creating the fear. The fear is what you see on the news. I'm saying it's not a big deal, that it's just a common cold. And she's like, well, I'd appreciate it if you don't talk about it. I said, well, I'd appreciate it if you respect my First Amendment right, the right to freedom of speech. And then the pharmacist yelled and said, all right, guys, you got to knock it off or else you have to leave the store. But I couldn't believe the gall of that woman telling me that I need to shut up because I'm promoting fear by calling out the coronavirus for what it is, a common cold, when it's actually NBC and CNN and ABC and all these news stations that are ones that are saying, oh, don't touch anyone, don't get within 6 feet of anyone, no groups bigger than 10, and blah, 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 wear a mask, wear gloves, blah, 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 wash your hands constantly 25 times a second, you know. But I'm exposing the lies that they're pushing on their propaganda networks. And this lady has the nerve to say that I'm fear-mongering by saying what I was saying? No, if anything, people should be calming down like, oh, it's just, you mean it's just a common virus? But no, she was acting like I was creating and promoting fear by calling out the coronavirus for what it really is, a common cold. And for her to, and I remember specifically, and I said, oh, and by the way, the conversation was between me and this lady right here. You weren't in our conversation to begin with. She's like, I don't care. I don't want you talking about that. Like, stop me, lady. It's a free country. I have the freedom of speech. You want to take that away from me too? You must be hanging on the commie's nutsack. Excuse my language, but she really pissed me off. To sit there and say that I was fear-mongering simply by saying that the coronavirus is just a common cold, people need to quit worrying so much about it. She's saying I'm promoting fear. How is that fearful? If anything, I'm downplaying the overhyped BS that they're pushing on television about the coronavirus. They're saying how deadly it is when it's only killed 4,000 worldwide, but yet the flu alone in America has killed 14,000 people this year. But nobody's talking about the flu. Oh no, it's all coronavirus this, coronavirus that. And they shut down all the sports networks. Nobody's playing ball, which I think is a blessing in disguise because people need to get off the television anyways and get closer to the Father who sits upon the throne. So there's that. But yeah, so that lady that was in line at the drugstore, she's a prime example of the way most people think in the world. She's totally lost, blind as a bat, has no sense of common sense, has no common sense whatsoever, and is easily programmed by her television because obviously she's buying into the fear-mongering crap that they're pushing on TV. And she's getting mad at me, of all things. She's getting mad at me for saying that the coronavirus is just a common cold. But then what I don't get on top of that is she's saying I'm fear-mongering by saying that. How am I creating fear by letting everyone know the truth that, oh no, the coronavirus isn't what the television is telling you. It's not killing millions of people. It's just a common cold, not to worry about. How on earth is that fear-mongering? I would really like, please comment in the comments section on this video if someone out there could please explain to me how I was fear-mongering inside of the drugstore when I was simply calling the coronavirus for what it is, a common cold. 4,100 deaths worldwide, but yet America alone had 14,000 deaths with the flu. Come on. Which disease sounds a little deadlier? The flu, obviously. And who knows what the death toll is worldwide with the flu? But if it's 14,000 in America, then it's got to be probably close to 50 or 100,000 worldwide. But yet the coronavirus killed 4,100 people worldwide, and everyone's getting their panties into a twist, going out, buying up all the toilet paper, like toilet paper's gonna save them. You're not even gonna need the toilet paper. When you run out of food, you're not gonna be crapping anymore, so what good is the toilet paper for? What, are you gonna eat it? Come on, guys. Wake up, get your heads out of the sand. Don't be like that lady at the drugstore who's blind as a bat, doesn't know left from right, okay? She's the prime example of the idiocracy, the dumbing down of America. She's just another dumbed down American citizen who feels like she's privileged, and she feels like she has the right to tell people that they're not allowed to have the freedom of speech, to speak their mind. She's like, well, I don't want to hear it. I'm like, well, then close your ears. The conversation wasn't with you anyways. I was talking to another lady. She's like, I don't want to hear it. Well, close your ears. Maybe I don't want to hear the bull crap that's on the televisions everywhere. Do I go into the freaking bar and tell them to please turn off the televisions? I don't want to hear about the coronavirus. No, they would look at me cross-eyed, okay? So, wake up. Get your head out of the sand, lady. Seriously. But the nerve of some people, you know? You just butt into someone else's conversation. You tell them to shut up, to quit talking about whatever. I'm not talking about anything that's hurting anybody. As a matter of fact, what I was saying should be calming people down about the whole coronavirus bullcrap. Because I'm calling it out for what it is. BS. It's just the BS, you know, fear porn. That's the real fear mongers is NBC and ABC and CNN and MSNBC. And Fox. You want to call someone a fearmonger, why don't you call out those news channels that are plastering it all over the networks, and all you hear about is the coronavirus 24/7. It's like there's no more real news going on in the world because all they talk about is the coronavirus. So obviously there must not be any more mass shootings. There must not be any more, you know, burglaries or home invasions or bank robberies or, you know, high chase, like, you know, cop chases with stolen cars. None of that's going on anymore, apparently, because all they talk about is the coronavirus. So, gee, it's funny how all the crime just suddenly stops when they push a certain narrative on the news. When all they're talking about is the coronavirus, gee, that must mean that nothing else is going on. No woman's getting raped right now. No car accidents are happening, no fatalities from car accidents, no bank robberies are taking place, no shootings, no gang shootings, no drug-related shootings are taking place. Because, you know, everyone's afraid of the coronavirus so much that everyone's afraid to commit crime. Come on, guys, wake up. When are you guys going to wake up? It's in your face, like propaganda, fear porn. They're pushing propaganda through fear of the coronavirus, and it's in your face. And if you can't see it, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. I guess you're just gonna stay blind and dumb, go back to your little idiocracy couch, become that couch potato where the dude blows up the 500 pounds watching 50 different screens, too lazy to even get up to use the restroom, so he just goes right there. I mean, come on, guys. Idiocracy in America is for real. And I witnessed it today with that ignorant woman who told me to stop talking, that I was creating fear amongst the people when I was downplaying the coronavirus. How on earth is that promoting fear? Please tell me. Somebody let me know in the comment section. But anyways, I'm done rambling on about that. Basically, I just want to let everyone know that I'm back. And tomorrow I'm going to try to make a really good video. I just need to try to put it all together. I'm going to gather some more information on the other lady that I talked to on the phone earlier. And hopefully I can get out a great video for you guys for tomorrow. I'm back. I just needed... Man, please pray for me, guys. I am being spiritually attacked left and right. I mean, it's so bad. It's like as soon as I get kicked to the ground, before I can get up, I get kicked back down again. That's what it's like, one thing after another. So please pray for me. And I pray for all of you and all of your families. And I pray that God blesses all of you and all of your families. I love each and every one of you. Much love. Habitual Truther out.